All right, how's everybody doing today? Cobra Trading here, and I just want to go over some alts real quick. I'm going to try to stick to the same ones for right now that I've been doing analysis on, and I'll get into some new ones probably next episode. So right now I'm on ADA. This is going to be a one-day chart here, and in terms of price action, we've had a lot of crazy stuff going on. So we've had this main level of support resistance right here that unfortunately did not hold for us. We thought that we were done with the correction here, and unfortunately we did break through this. This actually lines up right with the 1618 level of the current measurement that I already have going on down here. So let's go ahead and get into more recent events. Turning this down to a 4-hour chart here just to get a little more detail. You can see we had our 5 waves up, this completed, and then we had our ABC correction down. And what that ended up happening, what ended up forming from that was this little pennant here. And a lot of people were calling this a bear pennant. However, we had come up in price and entered the pennant from the bottom to start the pennant. So it actually was not a bear pennant. It was actually a bull pennant because we came up into it. Maybe I could better illustrate that if I just do one of these, like that. So that's what ended up forming this pennant shape here. We did come up. We actually hit one of my targets up here that I was suggesting to people if they had taken this trade. Was about 1320. We actually ended up hitting 1319, so almost right on the dot there. So that was a good trade for people if you had taken that. And now we're working down a little corrective phase here. This level at the 382 at about 1240 has been holding. So right now it doesn't look terrible for ADA. It is starting to make a little bit of a comeback here. But we're really just going to have to wait and see where this ends up going. My volume indicators and my MFI indicator do not work on this asset here. So basically right now what I'm seeing happen is we're going to come down a little more. I think we're going to test this 382 one more time. If that breaks, I see us testing the 0.5 before we start coming back up. So that's it for ADA. Let's take a look at XLM. So Stellar, oops, there we go. Basically what's been going on with this is if you go ahead and you look at this little 5-wave sequence that we've had going on right here, it's been barely a valid Elliot count, given these the prices on these candles. Right now this 618 is acting as resistance at the 3830 level. So this is a key level for us to watch right now. If this does not hold and we have a failed 5th wave here, we could be coming down to the 0.5 at 3655. However, I really don't see that happening. We are looking pretty bullish here on this Stoch indicator. We are about to cross, which is a bullish sign. We've got room to go up on the RSI, which is good. And same thing with the MFI indicator. We're right here, in this middle ground. And usually when we've been sitting here in the middle, the last time we came up, which is good. So, looking back at some of the history here, when we've come up to this level, it's normally been a pretty good area for us to have a little pop in price. So definitely an area to keep an eye on in XLM right now. XLM runs with XRP. I haven't really done too much analysis on this, but XRP, in my opinion, is looking pretty darn bullish right now. We're in an area of really good volume. The MFI indicator is pretty low, signaling that it might be a good time to maybe enter a position here. The Stoch indicator is about to cross bullish, and there's plenty of room to go up on the RSI here. So, both of these kind of run together, so they're looking pretty bullish right now. Moving on to ONT, We have had a pretty significant jump in price on this. We did bounce off the top limit, the 70 mark of the RSI, and now we're starting to head back down. Again, testing 382 support at about 3,000. It is holding for now. However, I definitely do see this price correcting down again, probably to a 0.5 level at least, and to kind of see where we're going to be going from now. This is from this overall larger trend. If I go ahead and take this off, let's go ahead and put a new measurement on here for our most current low and our most current high, just to kind of get an idea of the levels here. And that's about accurate. I could see us maybe going a little deeper from this main trend and testing the 786 again, around 2840 or so. But for right now, again, this level lines right up, even with the 382 from the smaller, most recent trend. It's acting as support right now. We've only barely dipped below it at about 3,000, so this 3,000 level is really important, and hopefully this holds. But like I said, I do see us retracing some, just to, the RSI has to cool off. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm kind of bullish long term on ONT. It's been doing pretty well from when we hit our most recent drastic bottom here, when we had this Vegas wave going on. And it's been going really well so far. So hopefully we're starting to see some more correctiveness and some more bullish action on a lot of these alts. Oh, okay, so one of my targets ended up getting hit here on ZEC. A while ago I had charted this. Let me go ahead. I'm going to take these levels off for now. I charted this a while ago. We were in this big triangle here. We broke out of that with a lot of power, had our little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, and then we had a little correction here, and I knew that this was going to come back down at some point. We ended up touching my first target almost perfectly, and this is my second target longer term. If you're trying to maybe re-enter or something, I think that this would be a good target to have. For right now, in terms of measuring, hold on a second. I'm not going to count that wick. That's not going to count for me. That's manipulation or something. I didn't know that I already had another measurement on here. I guess I don't. Let's go ahead, measure from here to here. Yeah, and I already had this drawn for specifically this reason, is that it lines up with the 618. It also lines up with a very critical support and resistance level that we've had going on for quite some time, which is right about here, somewhere in here, right about the same level. Going up, I mean, this coin has been mostly just coming down, so this has been a more recent level, but going back as far as here, this is when we finally broke it, came up, tested as resistance, didn't work, came back down, and then that's when we finally broke through this. We tested that here exactly on this triangle as well. So I do see this going up long term. So this would be a really good entry later on a retracement. Catch it on a retracement here. This would be a good entry point if you want to get in on this coin. We are about to be crossing bullish here on the Stotch. There's some room on the RSI, but mostly what I'm worried about is the MFI indicator down here. It's just really, it's already pretty high, so maybe some divergence there, but not really a noticeable amount, just kind of a higher level. Let's go ahead and take a look at OST real fast. So this broke, and support did not hold on this pennant here, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. This did not hold. It ended up breaking down instead of up. There is a chance of pennants and flags and stuff breaking downwards. It doesn't happen very often. This was a good example of that. We broke up, It didn't rally enough for whatever reason. There was a lot of volume up here, but we started just, the bears just, started running out of room. And we ended up breaking down instead. We're starting to come down to some key levels here. I'm going to go ahead and delete this and draw a new measurement. I guess let's just measure from where we actually are currently. Let's go from here. Let's go from the top to bottom. So let's see. So the first level that we would end up having to test again, and I do personally think that this would be a good time to buy here. I also stated that back here when we were bottomed out and coming up to cross. That didn't happen. We broke down. This would have been another time that I would have bought into this because we were so bottomed out here on this stotch. And same thing right now. This is looking like a good point to buy. So I'm gonna move over. If you're stacking buys on this, then this is definitely an area to watch right here, and we're really low here on this MFI indicator, which is a very good sign. We haven't been this low since all the way back here in the beginning of the month, so pretty good place to ladder your buys in right here. I do think we will be coming back up for another rally. I guess the RSI just had to continually cool off some before that happens. So still bullish on OST. You're gonna hear me saying that I'm bullish on most of these alts. I think that a lot of the alts are starting to come back, which is good. So we'll see what happens with this. Obviously, first level that we're going to be testing is right here at this 236. You can see straight across here. This is a pretty important level, right at about 815 or so. So when we come up, we'll test that. Hopefully we'll end up breaking through that again as we start getting into areas of higher volume here and come back up to test our 618 resistance and hopefully continue onwards. Going over and taking a look at Nano, this has hit most of the targets that I've called since the very beginning here. We had our little 5-wave sequence that was actually kind of drawn out. I don't know where my 3 is. My 3 is missing in action somewhere. Oh, I had it way up here. Must have gotten distorted. Fourth wave would actually be over here. I love and hate that magnet tool at the same time. I don't know where the 5 is. I must have been really elongated on this, thinking like super hopeful on this. I think I was in a position on this and I was being like super bullish. Anyway, so starting from back here, which is where I first started getting back into charting this coin. I made a call back here and it went well. It was about I forgot how many percent it was. How much was this? I think I got out here about almost 20% trade. It wasn't bad. And then we ended up correcting here. I ended up rebuying somewhere around this bottom. I think I had a buy that didn't trigger at about the 618 level or just a little lower. About 3180, I think I put it, 3181. That did not trigger, and I've been kind of kicking myself for that. I wish I would have laddered in here because I ended up missing on a pretty decent opportunity to buy. However, we have been curving back down, but we've been adhering to this support level for the past almost a week now. The MFI is creeping downward, so still, between 20, 25, that's normally a good area to buy. Right now it's about 28, so it's a little higher up. But right now, in general, if you're, again, laddering in buys and stuff like that and accumulating, this is definitely, in accumulation mode right here. Don't know how long we're going to be in that, obviously, but the next key level that we're going to be testing to come back up is first here at the 382 at 3615, and then again we've got this area of support resistance here at about 3730. So again, bullish on this. RSI, plenty of room. Stotch indicator as well is starting to bottom out here, and it's maybe turning the corner here pretty soon. So I do think that this is going to be good long term. This coin's got a really good history of ups and downs. So this coin normally plays by the rules of price action and support and resistance and stuff like that. So I have no worry at all of getting into some kind of a trade on this in the near future. Heading over to Ethereum Classic. This is another coin that really likes to play by the rules, so far at least. We had an upward channel. We actually kept going up. We broke out of the channel horizontal, kept going up. We broke right here. It actually landed to the tick. It actually landed to the tick here at the 786 level, and we ended up breaking down. That ended up forming a bear flag, and we bounced around in this channel coming up. 618 support did not hold. We ended up breaking back down again, and then when we came up, we ended up making this little bull flag here, and we were in this channel. I think this was just a couple days or so. We actually ended up hitting one of my targets down here. We wicked down and hit one of my targets, and then came back up and hit my estimation on the top end here, right at the 618 level. So this coin has been doing pretty well considering everything else that's been going on. All of these levels have been really solid and right in the middle. They've been fluctuating very nicely. There haven't been too many extreme tops and bottoms here. Even with the RSI, we've only really dipped down below the lower limit here once in the past. I guess this is a little bit, but basically there's just these 2 points in the past month. But the downside is that we've never actually had a lot of price action going upwards. We've maxed out on the Stotch a couple times, but in terms of the RSI, we haven't come close except for back here. At the very, very first week, when we had this major move up. Besides that, we haven't really had any times that, we've really come above the RSI. Recently, so that's something that I'm waiting for. I think that this coin has just been in just heavy accumulation. This is just a distribution phase. So we've been hugging these limits right here, from here to up here. We've been hugging these limits and just sideways and sideways and sideways and sideways. So I think at some point something's got to give. I think this coin is going to be breaking upwards, and I'm pretty excited to see what happens with that. I'm still holding on to some of my entry longer term from this point where I had entered here, which was a riskier trade. I normally don't recommend trading against the trend, but I did get in. I want to reload and add to my Ethereum Classic bag, so I did end up reloading here. So we'll see what happens. I think that we're going to be breaking upwards soon, but again, only time will tell. So that's where I stand with some of these altcoins. I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis, and I hope that this helped you. Again, always remember to like and subscribe to the videos and to the channel. And if you want more information about what we do in my Discord and stuff, there's a link to my free Discord down below, and you can go ahead and join us in there for charts on other coins and things like that. I do a whole bunch of educational resources in there as well. So have a nice day, guys, and happy trading.